I almost didn't bring them. They were in a red tin with a dented corner, the kind that never quite closes again once it's bent. My daughter had pressed parchment paper into the bottom herself, smoothing it with both palms like she was tucking something in. She had insisted on arranging the cookies by size, not shape big, medium, small, because that felt fair to her. They're for everyone, she said. Not proud exactly. More resolved. I remember thinking, this is enough. Whatever happens, this is enough. My mother's house was already loud when we arrived. The television was on too high, the same station it's always on, the volume never adjusted because no one dares to ask. The kitchen counter was crowded with trays that looked professional, glossy pies, neat squares dusted with sugar, labels written in careful cursive on masking tape. We added the tin to the edge. It didn't quite fit, so it sat a little apart, like it was waiting to be invited in. At first I told myself people just hadn't noticed. They were hugging, pouring drinks, arguing gently about where to put coats. My daughter hovered near the counter, pretending to be interested in a glass snow globe while watching the cookies from the corner of her eye. Time passed in small units. Someone cut a pie. Someone else asked where the forks were. Plates filled and emptied. The cookies remained untouched, the lid half open, the rose still perfect. I felt that familiar tightening behind my ribs. The one that comes from recognizing a pattern before it finishes unfolding. My mother finally looked at them. Not with curiosity. With evaluation. She said, "Those look store-bought." She didn't say it loudly, she didn't smile, it wasn't meant to sting. That was almost worse. It was said the way you comment on a lamp you wouldn't choose for yourself. My daughter froze. Not dramatically, just still. "They're not," I said, automatically. Too quickly. Like a reflex I'd practiced for decades. My mother shrugged. "Well, they look like they are." That was it. No follow-up, no apology. She turned back to the oven timer. No one reached for a cookie. I waited, I don't know why. Some part of me always waits. As if the room might correct itself if I give it enough time. As if someone will suddenly notice the effort, the intention. The small hands that rolled dough too thin and had to start over. My daughter closed the tin. Carefully. She didn't ask if anyone wanted one. She didn't look at me. She just closed it. We stayed another 10 minutes out of politeness. Or habit. Or fear of making it awkward. Then I said we should go. Early morning, long drive, things everyone understands without questioning. No one prodrar. She asked if we'd done something wrong. No. I said. I kept my eyes on the road. Sometimes people don't know what to do with gifts that aren't familiar. She thought about that. They could have tried one. Yes, I said. They could have. That night, after she fell asleep, I sat on the edge of the bed and replayed the day. Not just the cookies. Older scenes slid in uninvited. Times I'd paid for things because it was easier. Times access had been given casually, my credit card added to accounts. Shared, just in case. Used without checking because family. Affection, I realized, had a practicality the other. I didn't feel angry. I felt tired in a precise way. Like a drawer that finally sticks because it's been overfilled for years. In the morning. My phone buzzed while I was making coffee. Transaction declined. Card temporarily blocked due to suspicious activity. It was a routine alert. Automatic. Impersonal. The bank doing what banks do when patterns change. I knew immediately what transaction had triggered it. A large one, unusual. Made by someone who'd never asked because they'd never been told no. The phone rang less than an hour later. "Do you know what's going on with the card?" my mother asked. She sounded inconvenienced, not alarmed. Like a door that wouldn't open on the first try. "Yes," I said. "Well, it's blocked." I was in the middle of something. "I know." A pause. "Then did you block it?" "No," I said, truthfully. "The bank did." Another pause. This one longer. I could hear her recalibrating, trying to locate the lever that usually worked. "You need to fix it," she said. "I have things to pay for." "I'm not going to," I said. Silence. Not the awkward kind. The kind where control used to live. "You're overreacting," she said finally. "About yesterday." I didn't mention yesterday. That landed. I could feel it. "You left," she said. "You made it obvious." "I left." I agreed. Quietly. She sighed. the familiar sound of disappointment aimed outward. This is petty. I thought of the cookies, still untouched in the tin, of my daughter's careful hands. I'm changing how access works, I said. That's all. For how long? I looked out the window at nothing in particular. Indefinitely. She laughed once, short. You can, I said. Not raised, not sharp, just factual. The call ended soon after. No apology, no acknowledgement, just logistics left unresolved. Later that day, I took the cookies to my daughter's school. The office staff accepted them like they were precious. Someone asked who made them. My daughter answered herself this time. They're good. A teacher said, reaching for a second without thinking. I watched my daughter's shoulders lift. Just slightly. The repair was small. Real. That evening, I logged into my accounts and removed shared access. One by one, it felt less dramatic than I'd imagined. More like closing windows before a storm. There were more calls over the next few days, each one shorter, each one more careful. The tone shifted, not warm, but wary. Power doesn't always announce itself when it moves. Sometimes it just stops being available. We still see each other. Holidays still happen. But I bring less now. Less explanation. Less offering. When I bake with my daughter, we don't talk about that Christmas. We talk about measurements and patience and how not everything needs to be perfect to be worth sharing. The tin is still dented. We use it anyway.